Hello people, how are you? Just an old Sunday video. So back onto the bees actually. I got a lot of views for me bee videos for some reason. People like bees. But I just want to tell you a story, two stories actually. Bees are dangerous. Listen to this. So my friend rang me and said, "Yeah, I have to do the same thing with the bees because they're getting out of one of the hives up into a tree. I want to get them back in again, like the same thing that happened last week." So I says, okay, I'll come up. So I came up, but he had went off. He was already dressed and stuff. He says, hold on, I'll just go and see what the story is, and then if I need you, I'll come back and you put the suit on and give me a hand. Not that I would have to do much. I would have just filmed it. But so I'm sitting here and watching him go off. 5 minutes later, I see him running up the lane, behind the trees. Ah! I shouldn't be laughing, but he forgot, he didn't fasten it properly here. So a load of bees went in and under, and he's after getting stung over 10 times in the head and on the face, which is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. So I had to call an ambulance, and they had to call an on-call doctor, one of these ambulance doctors that's always on the road, in case of emergencies, to call them, and he's just been taken off the hospital now because you have to give an adrenaline, one of these needles that you stick in to give you adrenaline so your heart doesn't go too fast. It slows your heart down so you don't take a heart attack. Very, very dangerous what's after happening. Bloated up all over. I'm just glad it wasn't me, because if I got stung in the head, with my big head as it is, I'd be walking around like this with a big head on me. But no, I shouldn't be laughing, but it's very dangerous, so anyone out there that works with bees and stuff, I'm sure you understand. Anyone that doesn't work with bees and you see a beehive, be very, very careful. Because this is true, it's just after going down now, it's just after happening now. And so I hope he's alright. They're going to keep him in for 6 hours surveillance after getting this injection and stuff. You have to, keep an eye on him before they can let him out. Another story. Every time something happens over here, I always have a story from before. Something that happened to me, very similar. So here it is. So I was working with bricklayers at the time. Before, when I was living in Ireland, and we were working out in Kells. It was Blanchardstown, just outside of Blanchardstown. And we were working that week. And what was it? We had a foundation had been poured, and we had to start building the blockwork. It's a separating wall. It was a building, an office, and we were building a separating wall to separate it from the buildings beside it. So the foundation had been poured. Now the problem was the foundation was poured a year before, and they were just waiting to get a bricklayer because it was the Celtic Tiger, there was the boom, loads of work, getting people to work for you. People were just like logged up for months and months and months. So we ended up getting there, but like I said, it was a year after the foundation was poured, and a ditch had grown, and the grass had grown, and the ditch had grown, and the thing is, they had wasps, and they're called ground wasps or earth wasps, which are the wasps that they make the hives in holes in the ground, in ditches, down underground, as I say. So I was laying the blocks out for the bricklayers, to go and start putting the first courses down. And the brickie, Mickey's name was, he says, Gary, listen, there's hives there, wasps. You have to get rid of them from me, because that's my job as a labourer. Is I can't have him putting the first blocks down and getting stung by wasps. So, Gary, bright idea, no problem. Found old newspaper, and I got the newspaper loads, wrapped it all up, lit it, and went over and put it into the hole, so it smoked them out, and it moved them on. Now that was on the Thursday, so that was grand. Smoked them on. The wasps, they flew off. Working on the Friday, and then the boss says to myself, "Do you want to work tomorrow?" Which was the Saturday, and you can work with Al. Al was a bricklayer from the north of Ireland. He wasn't driving, I had to go and pick him up. Do you want a few hours work Saturday morning? I says, yeah, no problem, I need the money. So the Saturday morning then, I drove off from Bray, picked Al up in Ballyfermot actually. Picked that up and then we went off to Blanchardstown on the Saturday morning and start working. We were carrying on with the war. Now, working 2 or 3 hours and Gary needed to go toilet. Yeah, number twos. And the problem was, because it was a Saturday morning, the office was closed. When I was working on the Thursday and the Friday, the office was open so I could use the toilet. But office closed because it's Saturday morning and only fools work on Saturday. Fools that need money. So I said, no problem, I'm the man, you know. I go behind the ditches. There was ditches down on the end of the garden, for the end of the land. Says, I'll get down there, no problem. So I goes down there, up, found a nice spot, pulled me cacks down, underpants down, and about to start doing my thing. But the thing was, the wasps that I had smoked out of there had flown off and made their house where I was about to do my thing. So you can imagine the wasps, can't you? You know, they're and then they look up and they see Gary, you know, pulling his cacks down Gary's arse, and they're thinking to themselves, oh, hallelujah, it's Christmas. And they just turned, they looked at me, they came for me, 4 of them, they turned around, boom, 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 4 wasp things. I was running around with me pants and my trousers down, with me ankles, I was running around like a penguin. So I got my trousers back up, and I ran back up to the bricklayer. And I says, you have to go, I'm being stung by 4 wasps. And he says, you're okay, you're okay. I said, Dom, I'm being stung in the arse by 4 wasps. It's killing me, it's killing me. So he says, okay, let's go into Blanchardstown and we go to a pharmacy, go to a chemist. Now he didn't drive, yeah? So I'm in my car, and my car was a Honda Civic at the time, a very low car, you know? Great car for, you know, being the gangster, you know, how you doing. But it's not a great car when you can't sit in it and you have to drive. So if you can imagine, if you can picture me, I'm holding on to the steering wheel, pulling myself up like this, you know, and trying to change the gears and with the pedals and stuff, driving into Blanchardstown shopping centre to get to a chemist. It was so hard to do because my arse was fucking killing me. So I went into the chemist anyway. And Al was behind me, and Al knew what was going to happen. He was just waiting to see what I would say, how I was going to put this across. So I go to the counter and I says to the girl, how are you? I'm after being stung by 4 wasps. Have you anything for it? She says, have you got the sting out? I said, I don't know. She said, let me see. Give me your hand, let me see, she said. I said, it's not on my hand. So she just smiled at me. My phone went a bit wonky there, I don't know what happened, but so she just smiled at me and gave me a cream. And she said, go to the nearest toilet and rub that on it, you'll be grand. So I had to go to the toilet in the shopping centre, rub this cream on my arse, because of the 4 wasps. I'm laughing at it now, but it was very, very sore. So I'm just telling you all, people, be careful of bees and wasps, yeah, especially with the summer coming in, because they're very dangerous, alright? Listen, I love you all. I hope this video comes out alright, and take care. Hey, like and subscribe, or I'll be sending bees back home to you. Killer bees. Keep me knocking on your door if you don't like and subscribe.